There is so much goodness here. Can you feel that? Can you see it? Can you see that there is so much goodness here? Because that's vital. That's where your juice is. That's where your glow is. And there is absolutely no reason that you have to choose it to be any different. You do not have to succumb to the fear and the naysayers and the people who are judging you because you're out taking a walk or hiking. You do not have to succumb to all of that. You get to choose that you're going to feel and see goodness in your life right now.
You are listening to the ultimate biohack for women, a movement of women who know what they want and go get it. You know the answers lie within. Reach in and grab hold. This is a movement of women who tune in and turn themselves on. Now you're biohacking a woman's way, integrating the art and science of hacking your biology like a woman. Tap your magic, conjure your yes. Upgrade, elevate, maximize your potential. I'm Dr. Brandy Victory, and this is a movement that is sure to hack your soul.
Hello, friends and neighbors. So from so far away. Hello, friends and neighbors from so far away. It seems like we're so far away. And I'm so grateful at this time that we have technology to bring forth a little bit more connection among us, right? Yesterday, Roger and I went for a hike. We were like, okay, we've got to get outside. We need to breathe fresh air. We need to move our body, right? And it's just really interesting. Now, granted, I'm in the Boulder area, so there's a lot of people who are like-minded. And but even with that, there was such a plethora of diversity in among the people in the personality types and the things that were being presented through other characters that we would pass on the hiking trails. There were people hiking with masks. There were people hiking and giving us the look like, what are you doing out of your house? Even though they are, there were people that were waving to us and wishing us the best day ever. And there's just all kinds. And I'm just really noticing this polarity that's happened. I mean, it's just been getting more extreme this has been going on, but it's getting more extreme. And here we are, just have gotten word that the president is extending our quarantine for another 30 days. And in the beginning, there was a lot of excitement, albeit fear is very exciting for many people, even though they may not think it is. It is. That's why you continue to do it. If you're one of those people who are constantly telling people how they should live, telling people to make the right decision, I get it. You have your own things about it, and everybody else has to figure out how they want to live around it too, right? So who are we in response to this? Are we someone who's speaking from a place of fear, reminding people that we're in a quarantine, reminding people of the symptoms of this COVID-19, right? It's just really interesting. The other day, I was on a networking group and somebody even a meeting on Zoom, and somebody was like, yeah, this is how I'm feeling. I'm not really having a lot of focus and da-da-da. And there were several people who said that. And how come, why would that be a problem, really? This whole experience is crazy, right? It's gotten us ungrounded because we don't know what to do with ourselves right now, right? In a big way. And then another person happened to say, oh, did you know that the not having focus is a symptom of COVID-19? And I kind of cringed on the inside. I tried to keep my composure there because she's just coming from a place of fear. She's like, oh, you know what? Keep your eye open. You may have it. You may have it. You may have it. Now, there's nothing wrong with keeping your eye open and being aware. But when you're constantly coming from a place of fear, constantly reminding people to how to live their life, or, oh, they coughed, they may need to go to the doctor, or, getting upset because other people are not focusing so much on the negative, right? There was Roger posted some response to somebody's social media. I don't know what it was, but he was like, yeah, look at the bright side, blah, 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 whatever it was he said. And then somebody came back and responded to him and said, wow, it's really crazy how, basically, I'm glad you're having a lot of fun in this environment when there's so many people dying. And, that person is living in a place of fear. And it's not that I don't have a heart for people who are dying and the people who are affected and the people who are sick and their families and the people who are in lack. I mean, I literally hold these people in my consciousness every day in my morning practice. And because it's so, so important. And we have a choice. We have a choice to focus on the positive or focus on the negative, right? And we are very easily kid ourselves and tell us, oh no, we're not, no fear here. I've heard that. No fear here. And then the next few things that come out of their mouth are fear-based. So it's really, really vital at this moment in time to really pay attention and ask your deeper inner knowing self, like your higher wisdom self, are my thoughts based in fear and my actions and my words based in fear? And if they are, how can I shift it? How can I shift it? And the reality is we don't have control over this virus. We don't have control over what President Trump does. We don't have control over much other than what's happening in our inner world and how we're acting in our outer world. And this weekend, we rearranged our whole house, essentially. I've been focusing on feng shui because I've been really wanting to learn more about feng shui. I've dabbled in it here and there. And I have a book, and I found a book on my bookshelf. And I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to read this feng shui book. Someone mentioned I should do feng shui in my office, so I might as well. So here I am, we're rearranging our house. Like that's fun, right? That's fun. That's energizing. It gives a new flow, a new feeling to the house. It keeps our spirit alive and healthy and high and vibrant and a high vibration, right? So what is it that you are doing to keep your spirit in a high vibration? It's so, so, so important right now. With this, with all the excitement that it began with, what I'm also noticing is that as time goes on, and now that we've gotten this extension on our quarantine, people's energy it's starting to wane. So in the beginning, there was a lot of excitement, a lot of people pounding their fists, and excitement for the opportunity for change. I know that was my primary excitement. I was just so excited because, oh my gosh, this is what we've been waiting on. I believe this to my core. This is what we've been waiting on. And this is an opportunity for change. So, it's given us a minute to get closer to our families, stay in our pajamas, play board games all day, watch Netflix all day, rearrange our house for our kid. A friend of mine, she rearranged her house so her kid could skate inside, Like these are all really good, juicy things and things we've been lacking for so long. And it's so awesome we're having this opportunity. And it's also really good stuff when we can focus in on how we're going to move the world forward in this new paradigm. There is no going back. And I don't want that to cause a sense of fear. What I want that to do is cause a sense of freedom. There is freedom in the newness. There's a freedom in letting go of the old storyline of sitting in a desk in your 9 to 5 that you really don't like, not seeing your family as much as you'd like. There's freedom in this now. And with this waning of this excitement, the newness is essentially wearing off, right? The reality of not being able to go anywhere, being forced into having little private time because your family's always around you, figuring out how you're going to homeschool, figuring out how you're going to manage your life in the midst of a lockdown, get people outside so they're not having cabin fever, but still, being respectful of distancing, social distancing. I was thinking about it and I think in December, come December, we'll have a lot of more babies and we'll have a lot more divorces because we get this incredible time to think about what's really important, to discover what in our lives is aligned to our highest expression and what is no longer aligned. I've had many patients in my past, not really now, but when I was doing straight chiropractic, I have many, not just one or two, okay, but a good handful of patients that would tell me, and they were usually men, I have to say, and then they would say, yeah, I love my job because it gets me out of the house and away from my wife. Like I've heard that comment so many times. Well, of course I'm like, wow, what are you doing there? Like that's crazy. If you're staying in a situation that you hate, you've got to look at that. And now we have that time to do that. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. Yay. I know I'm not saying this is an easy time by any means. Like it is not easy. I feel so incredibly blessed. Like what I look back on my timeline, on my history, and I've been putting some things into place over the last year or two, probably the last 2 years, that has set me up to be able to be grounded and clear and focused during this time, because I've been focusing on these certain things for a while, for a good while. I've been refining my life for a good while. I've been evolving my spiritual practice for a good while. And all of that has caused me to be in this place, I feel like, where I'm like, oh yeah, I mean, I have this vision. I'm still working towards it. I've been working towards it. Nothing's going to change. I know I'm completely 100% aligned to my highest right now. And what my highest expression is and will be is just an evolution of what is right now. So I'm that it really excites me. Okay. I have, not to say I won't have things in the future to work on. Not that I don't have anything to work on now. Trust me, I'm working on lots. But in my past, I had to unravel my misalignments. I had to let go of the relationships, the food choices, the patterns of bipolar and manic depression and chronic fatigue. And I had to look at all that stuff. What was the self-inflicting abuse I was doing on myself that was creating fibromyalgia? Like I had to look at all that stuff for recovery. And so I feel like I've set myself up. And why I'm telling you this is because this is an opportunity for you to set yourself up right now. Right now. So we get to like figure that out. What is it that's really important? What is it that we want to align to? Obviously, we want to align to our highest expression. Obviously, we want to align to God, spirit, universe, whatever you want to call it. That's something that's greater than you. There's so much goodness here. Can you feel that? Can you see it? Can you see that there is so much goodness here? Because that's vital. That's where your juice is. That's where your glow is. And there is absolutely no reason that you have to choose it to be any different. You do not have to succumb to the fear and the naysayers and the people who are judging you because you're out taking a walk or hiking. You do not have to succumb to all of that. You get to choose that you're going to feel and see goodness in your life right now. All right. And again, it can be really, really hard. It can be really, really hard. And that's why I'm sharing this with you, because I want to make it as easy as possible. I want you to know that I am here to hold your hand. I want you to know that if you're having a struggle, that don't wait till you're not struggling to tap into what I'm offering you. Okay. I've heard this. I had someone text me the other day and she was like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. I love what you're doing and I want to join in, but I've got to wait till I'm over my freak out. And I was just like, holy crap, how am I actually ever going to help people understand that it's in the freak out that you need support? It's in the freak out that you need guidance. That is, if you want to get over the freak out. Maybe the freak out, you really, really enjoy it. And that, if that's true, you've got to ask yourself and be real about that. Okay. Am I enjoying where I'm at right now? And if you're not, give me a call. If you're not enjoying your life in some way, figure that shit out, right? Get some support, whether it be me or somebody else, get some support. There's so many people out there that are waiting to support people in this place. All right. What I know is that when we're aligned to our highest, like when we can actually let go of everything that's not that and allow in all that is, we evolve. We evolve to greater beings who have the power to move this world forward with greater joy, innovation, caring for the earth in much better ways, and caring for ourselves with deeper love. And this is creating foundation. All this stuff is foundational to a new way of being in the world that is yummy and fun and joyful and good and Yum, right? Yum. Yeah, let's do this. Let's turn your glow on, girl. All right? Turn your glow on, girl. This is what it takes. And you got to like tap into a frequency, a vibration of other people, groups of people, conferences, whatever it is you need to do to nature, don't forget that, to turn it on, to turn your glow on, to not be stuck in the crap. If you're stuck in the crap, ask yourself, do I want to stay here? Does this feel good? Do I want to stay here? If yes, why? And if no, what are you going to do about it? All right, go outside, put your feet in the dirt, take your clothes off, lean up against a tree, get on to the Define Your Destiny offerings that I'm doing. They're free sessions. Like, just do it. Get on there. Call a coach. Do some spiritual healing work. Go meditate. Whatever it takes for you. But determine now that you will rise up to meet the demands of this extraordinary time. Make a commitment to yourself, to your community, and to the world to call in your divine highest expression right now, whatever that may look like. It may be different for a mom of 4 than it is for an entrepreneur, okay? And maybe you're a mom of 4 and you're an entrepreneur. How are you going to make that happen? Kids are at home, right? And now you get to choose. You get to choose and you get to make a commitment to be a part of this incredible movement towards greater alignment within yourself, within your community, and as a whole. This is oneness consciousness. This is where the true alignment is, right? Align yourself, physically adjust your posture, do some yoga, do something to get your body in alignment. Invert. If you can turn upside down. If you have a chiropractor in your home, do that for sure, right? Align your vision to your day. Who do you want to be? Through each of your experiences that you have in your day, who do you want to be? How do you want to show up? And align your heart to your opportunities. And beyond that, align your whole self with God, spirit, universe, the great force, whatever you call it, and watch your energy become a force for good. Thank you so much for being here. If you got anything out of that, if you feel a little lifted up, if you feel somewhat inspired, share this with your friends. Turn your friends on too, so we can all rise up together. All right. Love you, girls. Mwah.
Thank you for listening to the Ultimate Biohack for Women. If you'd like to dive deeper with our tribe, join us on Facebook or Instagram. And if you'd like to help grow our tribe, share this episode with your friends. Let's bring this light to our community so that other women can know their true power and we can create a tribe together worth being in.
This podcast is for information purposes only. Dr. Brandy Victory is not a medical doctor, and the views and statements expressed on this podcast are not medical advice. This podcast, including Dr. Brandy Victory and the producers, disclaim responsibility from any possible adverse effects from the use of information contained herein. Opinions of guests are their own, and this podcast does not endorse or accept responsibility for statements made by guests. This podcast does not make any representations or warranties about guest qualifications or credibility. This podcast may contain paid endorsements and advertisements for products or services. Individuals on this podcast may have a direct or indirect financial interest in products or services referred to herein. If you think you have a medical problem, consult a licensed physician.